follow-up with Carl Crush, a local man who 3 years ago had his car broken into. Of course, I'm only doing this because my colleague, Brian Chipp, is dead. First, I just want to...
Hard times had fallen on Carl. He was just getting over a brutal attack in which, according to my reports, he was physically attacked and eventually sodomized.
Things haven't gone entirely well since the last time we spoke. I had to deal with a horrible burden not too long ago. You probably heard about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that.
It hurt so much, you know? I mean, 2, maybe even 3 men come along and just start tearing through and breaking in, you know? And if you think about all this, you know, the damage, the irreversible damage that's caused, I don't know if the pain will ever really go away.
Wow, I'm sorry. I can't even imagine.
First, my car, now this barbaric violation of my personal space. I didn't finally move out of my mom's house just to have my first apartment broken into.
Wait, what? Broken into?
Yeah, my apartment. It was broken into just last month.
Oh, okay, that sucks.
Want to see it?
Might as well.
Yeah, this is quite a place you have here.
I try to keep it tidy.
It's interesting.
This is where I bust a musical sweat. I figure it won't be long before I can play actual gigs with a real guitar. I'm already up to medium difficulty, so soon. Over here's my room. Here's where I sleep.
You don't have a bed?
Well, no, sometimes you have to prioritize. You have to decide whether you want a bed to sleep on or L Word Season 3. This is probably my most prized possession. WWE action figures. I think I'm probably in the top 3 of the world collectors of these. Maybe not number 1, but at least in the top 3. Come on, I'll show you the barbecue sauce I just bought.
I was feeling more and more pleased with my own personal situation, looking at this loser's toy collection in his lousy little 1-bedroom apartment that didn't even have a bed. For the first time ever, my 3-story Hawaiian home didn't seem so bad.
So, when we first met you, your car had been broken into and your radio had been stolen. And now, 3 years later, you may have your own apartment, but you've already had to deal with the tragedy of that home being broken into. So, first off, how long have you been here?
It'll be 6 months and 4 months.
So, this happened nearly immediately after you moved in?
Yeah, like 3, 4, about a month or so.
Can you remember what you were doing that night?
Oh yeah. I was watching my favorite movie to beat off to, Faces of Death 3. Luckily, I was in my bedroom with the door locked. Otherwise, they might have been able to get to me, or my blanket.
So, did they actually take anything?
Yeah, they took both my folding chairs that I needed to sit on. They also cleaned out my fridge and took the shorts I've been drying out of my air conditioner.
My grandfather gave me those shorts. I can't ever replace those.
I was shocked to discover on my follow-up with Carl that he had suffered such a horrendous tragedy since we had last met. Having your apartment broken into is something that only people who have gone through it can honestly understand how it feels.
You know, I can't even explain how horrible it was to have somebody break in my apartment while I was asleep. Like, I remember back in 1938, there was this guy, Derek Von Siedenswallow. He used to walk around like, you know, like a real big shot, right? Like all the planets aligned just for him. Me and him, man, we used to be the best of friends.
While Carl continued to ramble on about whatever, all I could think of was two things. First, how sorry I was for this man. And secondly, damn, Heather O'Rourke had a nice rack. Tight, perky little body. Oh yeah.
As Carl continued to tell me about the break-in, I realized that it wasn't just enough to hear from the man himself. This was becoming less about a break-in and more about a man's life. That's why I decided to get an interview from his neighbors as well, Crystal and her niece Susan. I was surprised with what they had to say.
He's such an annoying man. He plays that rock music of his as loud as he can, day and night.
Sometimes I find it hard to concentrate in school because I just start thinking about how much I hate him.
Don't you ladies feel you're being a little harsh here?
No! He doesn't even know how to act. It's like it's his first apartment or something.
Honestly, I'm glad his apartment got broken into.
I never said his apartment had been broken into.
Yeah, you did. When I answered the door, you said you were interviewing Carl and his neighbors because his apartment had been broken into.
So, in your own opinion, there's nothing positive that you can say about Carl Crush?
Absolutely not. I pray every night for the day he finally moves.
I think he's a no good, loud, obnoxious, dirty, despicable, bald-headed son of a bitch.
You know, it's not easy. I've said it time and again. I've already had to deal with my car being broken into. I'm still not even 100% over that. I don't know if the memory of something like that ever really truly goes away. Then my apartment gets broken into only a month or so in, and on top of that, I have to live next to a couple of, pardon my French here, but a couple of brain-dead mademoiselles who need to go back to Colfax and leave me alone.
So, is this some sort of ongoing thing between you and them?
Well, it's like this. I tried to be nice to them since the day I moved in, but you can't make everybody happy. Some people are just unbefriendable. I'm honestly surprised that they were able to make time for your interview. I mean, those mouths weren't out making any food stamps talking to you now, were they?
So that's it. I feel I've learned a lot from this experience, and I hope you feel the same way. I've learned that you can't befriend everyone. You can't trust anyone. And you should be thankful for the things that you have. My final piece of advice for all of you would be this. No matter how bad you feel your life may be, just think of Carl Crush, and I guarantee you'll feel better. Reporting live from Channel Eyewitness News, I am Peter Platypussy.